Hello, aspirants. Welcome to the Hi-Fi of the Day, daily current affairs by Alchemy IAS Institute. I am Suhas, and we are going to discuss the five most important news topic of the day. Deepfake. You're aware of what is deepfake? Deepfake means pretending someone, creating someone's false image or videos that exactly look like them. Like deepfake is a combination of deep learning and faking. So, what is the concern of deepfake and why it is in news? Denmark plans to use the copyright law to protect against the deepfakes. And what does the Danish bill propose? The Denmark cultural minister said that the right to your own voice, your own facial features, no one can copy that without your consent. So Denmark is going to make a law which is applying copyright issues on your voice, your face, your text, all these things. And why this is important? What are the proposed legislation says that it will give limited protection that without the consent, no one can copy your facial features or like your uh, voice, all these things. And it is performance protection. That law is performance protection. That if anyone is improving your original content, that may not be comes under the usual copyright laws, but after this proposed law being passed, this your normal content also will be that enhanced content also will be comes under the copyright laws. And the performing artist protection will be there, like for this musicians, that artists, this protection is there in the new law. And posthumous protection will be there. This law that it proposes the same kind of protection after the death of any person up to a 50 years of period. That means after death also 50 years, this protection will be available for that person. And it is consent based sharing. If anyone is giving the consent for sharing that, that is okay. But without consent, that deepfake, that image cannot be shared, or it's like video cannot be shared. And the platforms accountability is there, like the platforms like YouTube or like Google or Meta, they have the accountability to take down the deepfake content, that no one should circulate a uh, original look like content. If someone is doing that, the platform should take down that. What is the concern? What are the uh, how this law we can discuss in the Indian context? In Indian context, yes, the right to privacy is mentioned in Article 21 of the Constitution, not by the Constitution itself. That Supreme Court in Puttaswamy case judgment, right to privacy is a integral part of the right to life and personal liberty, which is mentioned in Article 21 of the Constitution. And the IT Act says that Section 66E punishes the violation of privacy through image capture. Section 67 prohibits obscene or sexually explicit content, often used for deepfake in porn cases, like deepfake uses for this pornography. And Section 69A allow the government to block the website. And if you look at the penal provisions, like earlier it was IPC, now it is BNS. The section 356 talks about the defamation, which was 419 and IPC and 500 IPC. Now it is in 356. And section 318, which was IPC 420, that was cheating. And section 319, impersonation, that pretending someone, like mimicking someone's facial features and pretending that person, that is punishable offense. And section 294, which was IPC 292, which was sharing or like public displaying the obscene content. So India having these kind of legislations, but we don't have a specific deepfake or related or AI related legislation in our law books. So what we can do, we can uh, copy this, we can get inspiration from the Denmark's legislation for making laws. But the problem with the Denmark legislation is it is only talking about the circulation or publishing this deepfake. It is not talking about the generation of deepfake. And the global, that intergovernment or also like international concern is that these laws are applicable only in India, only in Denmark when it is being passed, and this case only in India. But our international offenses cannot be condemned, or also cannot be trialed in based on this law. That is also a concern. GLP-1, that is glucagon-like peptide 1. It's a revolution from diabetes to Alzheimer's. So what is this GLP-1? This is actually a enzyme that segregated by the small intestine or and hindbrain when like we are eating something. Like, so this is a naturally occurring hormone and a neurotransmitter, and secrete after eating by small intestine and hindbrain, and simulate insulin released, and it will reduce or like suppress our hunger feeling. So by reducing blood glucose level. So it acts on the brain to reduce the hunger and has receptors in multiple organs like kidney, liver, heart, brain, heart. So what are the new revolution? What is the new invention? The researchers journey led to the long-acting GLP-1 analog, which says that a revolution for suppressing or like reducing type 2 diabetes and changed that global attitude towards the obesity as a normal condition to a clinical issue that can be treated. It's a biological condition that can be treated. And the key innovation is using this fatty acid acylation to attach the GLP-1 to albumin that drugs durability, we can extend the life of drugs from 2 minutes to 160 hours, making this once in a week injection is possible for a type 2 diabetes. So what is the relevance for Alzheimer's? GLP-1 is act as an anti-inflammatory agent in brain so that this Alzheimer's can be treated or like can be arrested. Unlike a traditional treatment like the target amyloid plaque or tau protein, that using the GLP-1 we can arrest the or as like earlier and possibly causes of mechanism in the neurodegeneration and result of Alzheimer's. So what is it concern for India? India is the second largest population where type 2 diabetes is very common, and we are by 2036 we will be having 140 crore something aged population will be there. So for this aged population, that Alzheimer's is a challenge that is also we can taken into consideration. The Grok AI was mentioning something positive about the, was like pro-Hitler answer was given by Grok AI. So how this AI works? AI is just a mirror, not a mind. Like how AI being trained, AI will act according to that only. The training data is a value alignment for AI, and AI doesn't have a much transparency. Like even if it is on OpenAI or Grok AI of X, if they are open source also, but that training data is not available for the public, and it is superficial fixes are happening, like when these kind of issues are coming, like when pro-Hitler kind of issues raised, that Hitler, something related to Hitler, it is being blocked, but the mindset or the mentality of this platform like AI is not being changed. That is a deeper problem here, and misalignment is a technical and ethical crisis happens because of this kind of issues. So with this kind of content is shared by the AI, and the reflect of its environment. Yes, AI actually is a reflect of its content, like Grok AI is a reflect of its X, that is a former Twitter. So that is a concern here. It depends on the environment which they are actually like existing. And the limitations of current AI is it is fragile alignment mechanism, like that anytime that alignment can be changed. The ethical danger of ideologically influenced design is there, and the opacity that it is not transparent for commercial AI systems, and the need for stronger regulation, transparency, and open research is needed for today's AI. 31 Atlas. It's a third interstellar object passes through the solar system. So how do scientists identify it is an interstellar object? That trajectory analysis, like normally this whichever particle is in solar system will be following a semi-elliptical path, but these interstellar objects will not be following this path. So trajectory analysis and the speed and distance, like it will be faster than the other objects in the solar system, and so fast we can assume that okay, this object is not from the solar system, and the gravitational influence is will not be there. Like the solar gravitational influence will not stop these objects from going out from the solar system. So why 3M Atlas is important? The age estimation is around possibly 7+ billion years ago, which is much earlier than the solar system formed. And the scientific values provide the clue condition of an alien star system, like how this star happened, and the chemical analysis will be also like useful for understanding the earlier condition. Locust swarming. So what is locust? Locust, this kind of a insect that will eat, or is like that will destroy the crop field by eating the leaf and the crops. Okay, what was the discovery? A pheromone has identified, which is 4AA, that 4-vinyl anisole. This is a pheromone that attract other locust. When this locust is getting something for eating, this will produce this pheromone, and other locust will come, and they will form a swarm. So what we are doing, that enzyme mechanism is identified that for a convert for VP, it was a non-swarming hormone that will convert via an enzyme called the 4VPMT. So that's how that forming as pheromone and creating this swarming. So what we are doing, how the scientists block this swarming. This swarming is actually the most dangerous thing, because of this swarming only that the crop being destroyed by this locust attack. So one approach is gene deactivation, that 4VPMT gene will be deactivated. So then this enzyme will not be available for converting this 4VA into 4VP. And second approach is molecular inhibitor, like that will arrest the 4VPMT, that converting this swarming hormones to swarming hormones, pheromones. And third approach is RNA insecticide, that have a future potential. RNA will be sending to this genes, and it's a kind of a like a messenger, like a RNA interfacing mechanism. Finally, the question, current affairs drill, the question of the day. With reference to emerging technologies, consider the following. AI can be used to create a synthetic media, including deepfake. Internet of Things devices are immune to deepfake-based cybersecurity threat due to the lack of visual interference. Deep fakes powered by AI can be weaponized to manipulate sensor data critical to Internet of Things systems such as surveillance and smart grids. Which of the above statements is or are correct? The options are given here. Comment your right answer below the comment section.